How many workouts is this for you now? Like 3?
This would be number 4.
4.
4.
What do you have left? Or what do you know about coming up?
New York on Wednesday, and then it'll be decision time. I think the deadline's on Wednesday as well.
So you haven't not yet finalized?
No, I haven't finalized anything. No.
You feel like you know where you want to go at this point? It's just getting a little extra feedback in this in your next workout?
A little bit. Just making sure to take these next couple of days, make sure I'm making the right decision. And then, when the day comes, just letting everybody know.
You'll take it right to the bitter end before you go?
Probably. Like I said, I got New York on that Wednesday, so probably would be right at that time at night.
What could someone say, or what feedback could you get in these next couple of days that could potentially sway you one way or the other?
It's pretty much not really going based off, the next workout per se on Wednesday. It's more like just making sure I'm sure with my decision, making sure I'm comfortable with it, and see if these next few days will play out the way I want it to.
So it sounds like you know what you want to do, you're just not ready to say it yet.
Pretty much, in a way, yeah.
Why would Indiana be a good fit?
For one, I grew up here, so just to be kind of a hometown hero per se, playing for my state, in front of all my friends and family, and just playing for a great organization. I've been watching them since I was little, and they've always impressed me, so I would love to play here. And
what did you hear from your pals back home when you said, yeah, I'm getting a workout with the Pacers this week?
Oh, man, they were excited for me because, like I said, besides a couple teams that, my favorite teams biased to certain players, Indiana's always been one of my top favorite teams. So just for them to be able to hear that I'm getting a workout for them, they were happy for me.
Do you have a favorite Pacer memory from growing up?
Honestly, my favorite Pacer memory is that brawl. I'm a toughness type of guy. So when I saw, everybody going into the stands, Ron Artest, Steven Jackson, all them, that kind of lit me up. So that'll forever be a favorite memory of mine.
What's your level of confidence that you would be a second-round pick?
High level. I don't think, if you go into the draft, I don't think you want to have any type of low confidence. Any decision you make, you want to make sure you have high confidence in it. So, if I do decide to stay in the draft, I feel like I would have a confident chance of being second round.
Trevon, who's been key for you during this process? Have you looked to a guy like Yogi at all?
Yeah, I've talked to him a few times. Talked to Gary a few times, Gary Harris, just kind of giving me feedback on how the experience is, if they were in this type of situation. I know back in their day, they didn't have this rule where you could test the waters per se, so they really couldn't give me the feedback that I necessarily wanted, but they kind of helped me a little bit.
Is there anything specific you're trying to show these teams during the visits on the court?
I think my biggest thing was just trying to show my change of body. I know last time I did this last year, my body was a big issue, just as far as being in shape, looking the part. I don't think that's something that I didn't do necessarily well. So, I think that's one of my biggest things coming into this thing.
What questions do you have for them? Or is it simply, where do you see me going?
It's that. It's, questions about the organization, questions about the atmosphere, type of style of play. It's just a lot of questions that go into, asking these organizations.
How do you feel physically now that you have a couple workouts left, but comparative to where you felt maybe this time last year? Are you less exhausted?
Yeah, a lot less exhausted and a little bit more excited, being able to go do a lot more workouts and being able, to withstand that and not being as fatigued as I was last year makes for a better experience.
And how do you feel Pacer fans would receive a hometown kid potentially getting a shot this summer right here?
Oh, man, I would hope they would love it, Like I said, I've been giving my all to Indiana, ever since I was a little kid. So, I hope, they can repay all that love back.
Trevon, how much you able to follow like Yogi and Gary and Trey and guys like that and what they were able to do in the NBA this year?
It gives me a lot of, it lets me know, kind of what to expect going into this whole thing. Each of them are in different stages of their career, so just to be able to pinpoint and look at each of their stages kind of gives me a good overall feed of how to go into this thing.
What kind of feedback do you get, or what kind of is it kind of what you expect to hear on your game?
Yeah, pretty much. Always my athleticism is always going to be a problem to them. Defense, I think those are, kind of constant things that they will continue to say, but it's all about just working on them and just playing hard every time.
Going through this 2 years in a row, does the second year experience would it be tougher to go back to school having now gone through this whole experience, sort of tasted it 2 years in a row?
I mean, not really. I mean, you got to be smart at the end of the day. So you got to make the best decision for you, for your family, and so I mean, if that means going back to school, that means going back to school. If that means staying in, staying in. I don't think I try not to get too complacent. I try not to get too big-headed. So I really just take what's the right opportunity for me.